From Walt Disney Pictures, in 1981, it premiered as the most successful Disney animated motion picture ever. Now, we're back! The Fox and the Hound has returned. Now is the time to share the wonder and excitement of this modern Disney classic.
I think I bent my beak.
Only in theaters. The Fox and the Hound. Rated G. Now playing at a theater near you. Check newspaper for showtimes.
Animals are in a game preservation because nobody can hurt them. But this old drunk doesn't give a shit.
He really has a vendetta out for this fox that did not kill his dog.
Yeah. So let me jump into the real world. So in the real world, when they're making this movie, half the animation team wanted the dog to die. And the other half was like, no. So this got so heated that the half that wanted the dog to die split off and formed their own company, the Don Bluth. Bluth was one of the guys. And they made movies such as American Tail.
Yep.
Secret of Nala, which you never heard.
No, I didn't hear that one.
Land Before Time.
That one I heard.
Fern Gully.
I loved Fern Gully.
Rockadoodle.
Rockadoodle, we loved
I
too.
believe Page Master.
That one's really good.
Troll in Central Park.
Yep, that one's
And
good.
Anastasia.
Oh, Anastasia is not Disney.
No, it's this guy.
Oh, okay.
It's like one of the last ones he makes before he goes.
See, that's
broke.
what my parents. I remember most of those ones you just like. I remember those more vividly than I remember the Disney
those.
ones.
I feel like your parents were like, "Fuck Disney." They were
yeah, I
showing you
mean, they were
these
just
things.
weird. I think they liked them because they were weird. Yeah,
they are weird. Rockadoodle's a weird.
yeah.
And I think what they wanted to do was to make more mature movies for kids. They wanted to get past this cutesy shit.
Yeah, so maybe that the parents might want to watch too.
Yeah, so they stormed off and we're gonna take it to Disney. Spielberg even got behind them for a little bit. But it's so funny because now nobody remembers these movies. When American Tail came out,
that one I don't remember.
Okay,
yeah.
but that was amazing.
Yeah.
My parents were like, Disney's dead. This is the new Disney. And now Disney basically came back.
They probably killed them.
They had their families murdered in the middle of the night.
Shot them in the head.
They murdered them at a screening of the Troll Central Park. I think it was the last one.
Yeah, it's got
enough of this bullshit.
Yeah.
You're all dead now.
No, we're gonna be the cool ones now.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, back to the movie. So they chase the two foxes. The Hound is really aggressive in this scene, which is really weird because the other dog's not dead.
Yeah, he's so angry, but maybe it seems kind of sexual, doesn't it?
Yeah, it made me think they finished all this. Was that? Did you hear that weird noise?
I think that might have been the cat.
What?
Was that the cat?
That was the cat? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to break the formula. But I think they animated all that end stuff thinking that the dog was dead. And then at the last second, they had a big staff meeting.
And they were like, we got to keep the dog alive. Yeah, because
you don't
there's
see
so
that
much
dog that
rage. Yeah.
Yeah. He's they just show little, even the one scene of him being alive, he's almost really goofy, where in the rest of the movie, he's really serious.
Yeah, right. They added one scene in. They did all the end part, assuming that the dog was dead.
Yeah, because the dog, not only is the dog alive, but he's in good spirits. He's goofing around.
He's
now.
like, I got a pillow to lie my head down on.
Yeah, he must have gotten a hold of his life. Why is this other dog so fucking mad?
I don't know.
Why is anyone mad?
No, they're so mad. You fell into the ravine. You broke your leg.
Yeah,
it's no big deal.
It was kind of the old dog's fault.
Yeah, exactly. So then, the redneck drunk, really wants to still kill this fox.
And then a bear shows up, in the movie Grizzly Bear.
And just like Grizzly Man, like Timothy Treadwell. But this bear is like the Revenant bear. It was as big as the trees.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of the scariest Disney characters so far. If you I'm not talking about future, but if you just go from 30 to 39 to 81,
that's the scariest one.
Probably the scariest thing they've ever animated. I could see little kids being I think I did hear from one person who's a little bit older than me that when they were a kid and saw that bear, they were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, scary.
Yeah, it's very scary. So the bear is just. The bear goes at it. The fox defeats the bear. And then the old man is still going to shoot this fox. And the hound is like, nah. He stands in front of the fox.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. And the old man lets him go. And then him and the old lady start banging. And the fox bangs the other fox. And the hound just misses.
He doesn't have anybody. He's alone.
He's alone.
All
he
he's
just
got
wants
is
his
the
gay
old,
love.
the old broken leg dog friend.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
It is. Well, people kept saying that movie's so sad. That movie's so sad. That wasn't as sad as I thought it was gonna be.
This movie?
I thought they were gonna. I thought after he after when the dog protected the fox, when the hound protected the fox, after they walked away, I thought the old man was just gonna like turn around and shoot the fox.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought was coming.
Just compared to other Disney movies, there's just this depressing edge to it.
Isn't Bambi apparently? There's like a something
but Bambi
wrong too.
like it's not like you don't see the hunter. This movie, you're with the guy who wants to kill the animals. The whole movie. Like, you never see the hunter. The shot rings out, Bambi's reaction, and then it cuts to like a year later.
Yeah.
But this movie is like you stay with the guy because he shoots the mother.
Yeah.
As soon as the movie starts, he shoots the mother. Like, when that scene in Bambi for people growing up in the 50s and the 60s or the 40s or the fuck, they said that was a moment in their childhood they always remember.
When Bambi's mom dies?
Bambi's mom died.
I never saw the movie, but...
Okay. Yeah, but like back in the old days, after
That
you
was
went to
nuts.
church and were told that you were wrong for being a homo, they took you to see Bambi.
Oh, God.
And everybody remembers that scene because it kind of comes out of... It does kind of come out of nowhere. They kind of foreshadow it. So,
yeah.
But if you're not really looking for it, it's like this bunch
happy,
of
cute
animals,
movie until that happens.
and then they shoot him. But this movie kicks off with the fucking murder. It's like...
Yeah. It starts with the murder, and then there's that evil man who just wants to kill this fox.
And then he just... Yeah, you know, like... This guy killed his fucking mom. And he's like, all right, I'll just be neighbors with you. And then the guy keeps trying to kill the guy.
And fuck that old woman. Keep the fox inside. Like, then she takes him out deep into the woods, and you can hear what she's thinking. That was the most disturbing scene.
That
She's
part
like,
is very depressing.
I'm going to be so
Because she
lonely
basically,
now.
like, is alone in
I
the
know.
woods.
And then she releases the fox. It starts raining. She's like, oh, well, okay. You'll be all right.
You'll figure it out.
And then the owl's like, I'm looking for a fox. He looks just like you. She's like, there's a boy fox. The girl fox. There's a boy fox.
Is she the only fox in the world? I guess
Yeah.
he's murdered every other fox.
I guess so.
This poor female fox. Is just
They
like,
have to
I just
go-
need to fuck.
They had to go to the reserve.
Yeah. This poor guy's, this fucking lunatic's breaking into reserve. I have this theory that I share with you in the movie that I think the old man, when we don't see him, because he's always like driving off. He's at the bar.
I think so.
He's like a day drunk.
Getting hammered.
He's like,
And then
I fucking hate foxes.
Oh, Gary's here again.
Is that his name?
I don't know what his name is.
They just call him the old man.
The old man, the old coot. Every old man in one of these movies is wearing long johns. Why is that? It's not cold in the woods.
It could be a little cold.
I'm just thinking of South Carolina. I guess it could
Is
be
South
cold.
Carolina warm?
It's warm there, but
Really?
there are these. Because you were asking like, what's this man's job? People in South Carolina do. You'll walk into the woods and there'll be like a dilapidated like house with
And they'll be living-
there's some weird man with a bunch of guns living in it. So that's
Like
what this
this guy.
man is doing. Yeah, no job. They built the house themselves. There's like
He
no.
got inspired by this movie.
Yeah, maybe. There's like no running water. They're just shooting things. There's a Confederate flag.
Also, there's a lot of dead animals in his house.
yeah,
It's like a serial
he's
killer.
got hides everywhere.
Yeah, and it's like really intense.
I don't get the hunting thing. I would have never any desire to go and shoot an animal.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it if that's how you like eat, like back in the old days, like 1700s.
Yeah, sure.
But like nowadays, it's like
Or like on Survivor.
he has a car.
Yeah, I know. Go to the grocery store. Like, and like what?
Yeah.
Or grow some shit. I don't know.
Go to the butcher.
I know anything. Or just people that hunt. I guess if you're gonna eat it, at least you're doing something with it. But I don't want to watch an animal die. What the
Someone broke down that like, I was listening to these wrestlers because a lot of wrestlers are hunters.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Why?
They're from the South, a lot of wrestlers.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not really they act like they're progressive, but they're not. But
No.
this one wrestler was saying that like you actually need hunters because if the population of deer gets out of control,
That's what they always say, and
the
it is
ecosystem
true.
could get
Yeah.
fucked up, and then the other deers will suffer, and then the other animals will suffer. So it's actually you're doing a kindness by
Taking out some of them by shooting them in the head.
brutally murdering a few. I don't know. That's what they claim.
Yeah.
And it kind of made sense when he broke it down, but like I'm like at the same time like, yeah, but this animal doesn't know like, oh, I'm just
I
in the way.
know.
Hopefully someone shoots
There's
me.
too many of me. Hopefully it's not me that gets shot, but if it does, If I do, it's okay.
This will affect the rabbit's eating habits if I'm not immediately shot in the face.
Apparently that is true, but I'm like, where's the science on that? I'm like, really show me, because every southern douchebag redneck I know is like, there's too many of them. If we don't, shoot
where are
them.
they doing their studies?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what are you talking about? Where'd you hear this from? It's just
heard
what we do. I heard it from.
I heard it on the WWE.
I heard it from the WWE. They're like, they'll be running out into rows, and then half the time the deers don't even die, but they kill the driver. It's like, okay, I mean, I guess maybe there's some logic to that, but just you don't.
And then the deer suffering
for the ecosystem. You're doing because you want to see a fucking deer die.
You want to have a fucking
thing
on your
on the wall. You want to be like, look at what I got. I love the pictures of these fucking douchebags with like holding up a dead deer by its horns. Yep, thank you for helping the ecosystem.
I'm doing it. I did it for the birds. I also shot them too, but I did it for the birds.
I did it for the birds.
Hey, look. I just care so much about animals. I just gotta shoot them.
I just care about the environment. Global warming, it's real.
I'm trying to help out Bernie Sanders and AOC. And now y'all turning on me.
No, that point is it's not that. You're just a sick fuck. You want to see a deer die or something. You think it's gonna be sexy to women if you catch a big fish or like fucking kill an animal.
And it used to be like in the 40s and 50s that was kind of hot to chicks.
Yeah,
but also
like,
so was smacking you with dinner wasn't ready. It was hot to chicks.
That's right.
So
or like, I mean, I guess it was hot to cave people if you could go out and get some dinner, but we have.
Women do like assholes, as we talked about.
This is true.
Before we start recording,
they really do. But the problem is,
but
the
I
good
think
looking ones are often like assholes. There's like a thing where girls like it when guys are mean to them. Which is
guys what?
Mean to them.
Oh yeah, like this guy was to her.
Yes, just mean in general.
Yeah, girls. I'm always astonished by the level of insanity a girl will put up with. And it's like, I just always like, I could never get away with 1/10 of this. I would literally be like, that's it.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
No, girls will put up with a lot, and I don't really know. I don't know why that is. A lot of us hate ourselves.
I think that's it.
I think there's a lot of self-esteem.
A lot of self-esteem. I'm not good enough.
Yeah. So
all this shit.
People put up with mean people.
I know. Yeah. Fuck. The women put up a lot of shit. I mean, this widow at the end of the movie, this guy's literally driven her one friend away from her home, and she's like hanging out with him now. She's like, we're talking.
She's lonely because she got rid of her only friend, the fox.
I know.
Yeah, everybody gets something except for the fucking hound. The hound just ends up alone.
And the hound is the voice of the hound is Kurt Russell.
Is it? Oh yeah. That's right. Who's the fox?
Mickey Rooney. Not Mickey Rourke. That would have been a whole different
the
movie.
The wrestler.
Hey, hound. Let's fuck.
Oh, God.
This is the story of the Black Cauldron. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin now. Legend tells of an evil king, so powerful that no prison could hold him. He was thrown into a pot of molten iron, and from this, a great black cauldron was formed. But even inside the cauldron, his spirit was strong, and his wickedness would not die. Whoever used the cauldron for evil would become all-powerful. With it, he could rule the world or destroy it. On a farm in the country of Prydain, a young boy named Taran slammed down a bowl of mush in front of his pig, Henwen.
I'm too old to be a pig keeper. I could be a hero and fight great battles.
The wizard Dalbin watched as Taran swung an imaginary sword.
But Henwen is a special responsibility, Taran, for she is a magical pig. And now the time has come to try her gifts.
Dalbin poured water into a bowl, and Henwen touched it with her nose. The wizard stirred the water.
Henwen, from you I do beseech knowledge that lies beyond my reach.
The water glowed, and a dark vision appeared within its depths. Dalbin frowned.
Alas, it is as I feared. The evil horned king has learned about the Black Cauldron and he wants Henwen's powers to help him find it.
Dolben urgently packed food and supplies into a knapsack.
Quickly, Taran. Take Henwen to the hidden cottage in the forest and keep her there. The Horned King must not find her.
The boy and the pig fled into the woods. Taran picked up a stick and waved it in the air, fighting imaginary foes.
I'll protect you, Hen. I'm the greatest warrior in all Prydain. Take that, Horned King.
Suddenly he looked around. Henwen was missing. Taran ran through the trees.
Henwen, where are you?
Just then, something moved behind a bush.
Is that you, Hen? I've got something for you. A lovely, juicy apple.
A furry little creature leaped from the bushes and grabbed the apple.
Oh, great prince! Take poor Gurgi munchings and crunchings.
Taran threatened him with a stick.
Give it back.
Gurgi pouted.
Poor miserable Gurgi deserves fierce smackings and whackings.
Suddenly, Taran heard Henwen. She was in trouble. Griffins, huge, horrible birds, were chasing her. Gurgi jumped back into the bushes in fear, but Taran ran after the terrified pig.
This way, Hen. I'll save you.
The first Gwithin swooped down and knocked Taran aside. The other flew low over Henwen. Its claws opened wide and snatched her up. The Gwithins carried her off to the Horned King's castle. The castle was dark and forbidding. Taran tried to be brave.
I must save Henwen, even if it costs me my life. Gurgi, will you come with me?
Gurgi shook his head in horror.
Oh, no, great lord. Not going there. Forget the piggy. Gurgi to be your friend.
Taran threw down the apple.
You're no friend. Here, this is all you want.
Gurgi watched sadly as Taran sneaked into the castle. Inside the dimly lit castle, Taran saw a dreadful figure hidden in an evil mask. The Horned King. His henchman, Creeper, was about to hurt Henwen. Taran rushed out of hiding.
No! Don't touch her!
The Horned King had Taran dragged before him.
Boy, make your pig show me where to find the Black Cauldron, or she will die.
Taran had no choice. Kneeling over a pan of water, Taran recited the spell. Slowly, the shape of a great cauldron appeared in the water. Suddenly, Taran tripped, splashing the water into the Horned King's glowing eyes. The evil one howled in pain. Taran grabbed Henwen and raced from the hall. The castle guards swarmed after him. Taran ran to the castle wall and pushed Henwen safely into the moat.
Swim, Henwen, swim!
He started to climb onto the wall. Creeper grabbed him roughly and dragged him back inside.
I caught the pig boy, Your Majesty. But I'm afraid the pig got away.
Deep inside the castle dungeon, Taran moped.
Some hero I am. I couldn't even protect a little pig.
Suddenly, a stone in the dungeon floor lifted open. A young girl, lit by a floating ball of light, climbed out.
I thought I heard someone. I'm Princess Alonwe. Are you a lord or a warrior?
Taran was embarrassed.
No. I'm an assistant pig keeper.
Oh, I was hoping you could help me escape. Well, come along.
Taran gladly followed her down the tunnel. Alonwe peered into a chamber.
This is the tomb of the good king who lived here before.
A mighty sword glittered on top of the old king's crypt. Taran snatched it up and slipped it through his belt.
He doesn't need this sword anymore. Maybe we can use it.
Alonwe was about to protest when someone howled in the next room. Taran gripped his sword, and they cautiously peeked in. A scrawny man was tied to a wall.
There's been a mistake. I'm not a spy. I'm just Fleur de Flamme, a singer.
As Taran quickly untied him, a guard burst in. Taran drew his sword. With a flash of magical energy, it sliced through the air, shattering the guard's weapon. The prisoners dashed upstairs and ran for the drawbridge. Creeper and the guards raced after them.
We've got you now, pig boy.
Taran slashed the drawbridge chain. The gate dropped between them and the guards. They were safely outside. Fluter grinned.
Why didn't you tell me you had a magic sword?
Suddenly, Gurgi jumped out of the trees and pulled Taran's sleeve.
Master! Gurgi, remember, saw Piggy's tracks. Follow Gurgi.
They came to a lake. Taran pointed to some stepping stones.
Look, there are Henwen's footprints.
As Gurgi started across, the water began to spin. Taran and the others tried to grab him, but the whirlpool swirled faster and faster, pulling them all in. The four companions found themselves underneath the lake, in the land of the fair folk. A tiny winged sprite, King Idaleg, welcomed them.
We found your pig, young man.
Taran hugged Henwen.
Oh, Hen, you're safe. At least for now, the Horned King won't be able to find the Black Cauldron.
The tiny king nodded.
That's right. The three witches have hidden it in the marshes of Morva.
Taran had an idea.
What if we get to the cauldron first and destroy it? Then the Horned King will never be able to use it.
King Idaleg appointed one of the fair folk to lead them.
It's time someone put a stop to the Horned King's destruction. Dolly will take you to the marshes.
Before long, they were standing in the witch's deserted cottage, but the cauldron was nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, in a puff of flame and smoke, the three witches of Morva appeared. They were fearful-looking and full of tricks. Taran drew his sword.
We've come for the Black Cauldron.
The witches huddled close together.
Did you hear that, sisters? Nobody's asked for the cauldron in over 2,000 years.
They turned to the intruders.
We'll trade the cauldron for the sword.
Taran hesitated. With the magic sword, he was a great warrior. Without it, he was only an assistant pig keeper. Taran decided.
I offer my dearest possession in exchange for the Black Cauldron.
The sword vanished, and the floor began to tremble. Everyone rushed outside as the ground burst open, revealing the evil Black Cauldron. Taran struck it with a huge stick.
Quick! We must destroy it!
The witches laughed.
The Black Cauldron can never be destroyed, dearies. However, its evil powers can be stopped. It's simple. A living being must climb into it of his own free will. But the poor duckling will never climb out alive.
Taran was dejected.
I've failed. Without my sword, I'm nothing.
Eilonwy shook her head.
No, you are Taran, and that's enough.
Suddenly, the shadows of Gwythins passed over them. Gurgi darted into the bushes.
Uh-oh, trouble. Go now.
The others tried to run, but their escape was blocked by the spears of the Horned King's henchmen. The guards took their prisoners and the cauldron back to the dark castle. The Horned King stood beside the cauldron, watching his henchmen bring in the skeletons of warriors long dead.
The evil power of the Black Cauldron is mine at last. I shall give you life, my soldiers, and you shall obey my every command.
He picked up the bones of a dead warrior and placed them in the cauldron.
I call on my army to be reborn. Arise, my messengers of doom. Our time has arrived.
A burst of flame shook the castle. A thick, swirling green mist rose and billowed out over the edge of the cauldron, covering the skeletons. Taran and his friends watched in terror as the horrible, bony figures came to life. They clasped their weapons and marched slowly forth. The Horned King smiled.
Never has anyone created an army like this. Go forth, my deathless warriors! Destroy all in your path!
Taran sighed hopelessly.
That's it, then. Prydain is doomed.
Suddenly, something moved in an alcove above them. It was Gurgi.
Master? Gurgi's sorry he always runs away when there's trouble. He will untie everybody. Then we all leave this evil place.
Taran crawled onto a ledge directly above the cauldron.
No. I can do something right for once. I must stop the Horned King.
Gurgi sprang in front of Taran.
No, Gurgi not let his friend die.
Before Taran could stop him, Gurgi leaped into the cauldron. The cauldron began to shudder, drawing the horrible mist back into itself. The army of skeletons stumbled and collapsed to the ground. The Horned King turned on Taran in a rage.
Pig boy, you've ruined everything!
But the swirling mists caught the wicked king and pulled him into the cauldron. There was a scream, and he was gone. Taran, Ilanwi, and Fluter found a boat and escaped to a distant shore as the castle crumbled around them. The witches appeared before Taran.
We'll take the cauldron back now, Ducky. You can have your sword.
It hovered in front of him. Taran pushed it away.
What do I need with a sword? Yet I will trade for Gurgi.
The cauldron vanished. In its place lay Gurgi. The boy tenderly lifted the lifeless, shaggy creature. Suddenly, Gurgi reached for an apple.
Munchings and crunchings.
Taran laughed with joy.
The Horned King is dead. Prydain is saved, and all you care about is food. Come on, let's go home.
And this is the movie where they basically tell the animation studio, you better ship the fuck up, or you're shipping right the fuck out.
Right.
Because
that's all it was.
This goofy shit isn't going to fly anymore. And, you know, they didn't quite... I saw Great Mouse Detective I saw in theaters.
Okay.
And I liked it a lot. I recently rewatched it. It's okay. And Oliver and Company, I like the music, but it's still kind of weird. This movie sets them on the path to make Little Mermaid, because they had to make Little Mermaid or they were done. If Little Mermaid bombed, it might have been...
It would have been the end.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fucking, is that the Corn King calling you?
No.
Let's talk about some. First of all, some of the designs though are beautiful. This is a really if you have Disney Plus, they say it's 4K. I'm not sure I believe that because.
I mean, honestly, as far as the
85.
conversion, but yeah, I mean, they might have done a post-conversion thing that was pretty cool because I mean, honestly, it looked really good.
Yeah, it looked amazing, and the Horned King is just a phenomenal. I want an action figure of this motherfucker so bad.
Right.
He is just an amazing design, a character design. I love the voice work. What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene was probably... I think my favorite scene was probably near the end, near the final sequence when the fog was going down the stairs. When the green fog was going down the stairs, because the actual animation that they used to show the layering on that as it was going down the stairs was really cool. But also it was creepy looking.
Yeah.
Like it was super creepy looking, but there was like you could definitely tell like the depth between the two. Mm-hmm. So like that whole final sequence, with everything getting sucked into the cauldron and him resurrecting the dead. That whole scene was great. Like, it looked awesome.
My favorite scene is the birth of the undead army.
Yeah.
I love that. It reminded me a great deal of Evil Dead or Army of the Dead.
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness.
Yeah. It straight up reminded me of that.
Yeah, and I would love it if somebody, and you could do this probably, you could probably get this done for Netflix or Prime. Somebody made a 2D Disney-style horror film. Animated Disney style.
They could do
horror
it.
Film.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'd put it on Prime or Netflix, because I just think that'd be phenomenal.
It would sell like crazy.
The 2D animation now. Have you seen that She-Ra piece of garbage?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think just that Thundercats thing,
dude. I think 2D animation is something that I think is going to make a solid comeback.
It is, but not with the goofy shit they're putting on Cartoon Network.
No, they're putting trash out.
Or Netflix.
Yeah, they're putting trash out. Well, and there's some that is
it already is kind of doing because you have the anime.
Sure, but I think also there's certain things that they're trying to do on Netflix with animation that's 2D animation, like very traditional. Yeah, very traditional style, like stuff like that, Big Mouth, things like that. But also a lot of the stuff that's coming from not the U.S. is coming out really well. Yeah. So like the fucking Castlevania,
fantastic.
Yeah, looks amazing. Yeah. You know,
I heard Voltron. How's the new Voltron?
I haven't seen that.
Okay, Casey Aurora says it's amazing.
I haven't seen the new Voltron, but I've heard nothing but good stuff about it.
Sorry,
it's so funny. We're watching the dog. She's circling like
she's circling my recorder, and I feel like she's gonna hit the wrong button.
Right.
I
thought she was. I thought she was gonna shit on it.
Now she's looking like offended at me.
Right.
She's like, why'd you put me off?
I'm cute, you son of a bitch.
Hey, here's another interesting fact about this movie. The guy who did the music was the guy who also did the music for Ghostbusters.
Oh shit.
Elmer Bernstein. I don't know if you noticed, but there are a lot of cues that sound like Ghostbusters.
Honestly, the music wasn't bad. This is the thing that's weird to me about this movie. The ingredients were there, but the tone was completely off.
Yeah.
That was the big problem. But the rest of the ingredients were all there. The music, the visuals, the voice acting was solid, for all
I kind of didn't like Taryn.
For all intents and purposes, I thought it was fine. I mean, nothing stood out as amazing.
Yeah.
But what's his name? Groucho or Grubby or whatever the fuck his name? Gurgi. He straight up sounded like Donald Duck, though.
He's John Biner. I think that was a comedian. Yes, John Biner is a comedian. He was on Soap.
He actually has a comedian's name.
Yes, he was on Soap. He's dead.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh, no, he's alive. He's alive! 81 years old. He was pretty good on Soap. He played a detective who was in love with, what's her name? The Mona. From Who's
Mona?
The Boss, but she was old. You ever watch Soap?
Oh, yeah.
Such a great show.
I remember that shit.
Yes. Oh, and he's on a show called Lore on Amazon.
Oh,
Video.
yeah.
Is that
okay? Yeah. No, it's a solid show.
Yeah, he's a comic.
Fuck me, I didn't know that. All right, that's a nice little 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing going on.
Yeah, and John Hurt played the Horn King.
Very interesting.
You know who John? We all know who John Hurt is.
Yeah.
If you don't know who John Hurt is, you should be arrested. Or
right, you should not be listening to this. You should be in jail.
Yeah, you should be in prison. Well, maybe there's people in prison listening to this podcast. Who knows? Maybe Harvey Weinstein right now is like, I want to give those guys a movie deal.
No, he's thankfully having a heart attack in Bellevue.
Stop! Oh, he's had a heart attack.
Yeah, well, basically, he
induced that.
Yeah, they sent him to Bellevue because
he has like one of those Hydra pills.
Yeah, he had chest pains.
Let me tell you something. That guy's gonna keep having. He's gonna keep having fucking strokes and conditions, so he can get out of prison as long as he can.
Oh, absolutely. Because as soon as they put him in prison, somebody will find a way into solitary, which is where they will put him.
Yeah.
Somebody will find a way into there. We should make it known right now. Harvey Weinstein did not kill himself. We should make that note right now.
Harvey Weinstein didn't.
No.
Although
he didn't.
No, because he's the type of guy who's
somebody committed suicide for him. That's what we're going to say.
He's the type of guy who's arrogant enough to be like, 5 years, I can beat that, and I'll get a movie produced.
Right,
I get out.
1,000%.
He's that arrogant.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah, I could do that.
As soon as that motherfucker got put on, as soon as he knew that he was going to court, he all of a sudden started walking in a walker and started looking super frail. It's like, whatever, dickface. You were just at a comedy show in New York 2 months ago. Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself, buddy. Should have gave me a movie deal. I never would have ratted on you. Anyway, that's what you get for turning on the goots. Well, you can't turn. We know what, though, in Harvey Weinstein's defense, he never would have banned me at Caroline, so there you go.
It's true.
Anyway.
Harvey Levy.
What?
Nothing.
Hey. Imagine I get reinstated. I heard of the Black Cauldron episode. You said Harvey Weinstein wouldn't have banned you. And I'm like, first of all, how did you get that far into the Black Cauldron episode?
The Black Cauldron strikes again.
That's why I decided to book comedy. I saw the Horn King, and I was like, I could be. When the Horn King came in, that is a lot like when the owner of a comedy club comes in. Just the way
walks
it was like,
in.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's a completely different side note. That's so weird to me. Maybe it is because I've been doing comedy for 10 years. Maybe it's because I've worked in so many different comedy clubs.
Yeah.
But it's so weird to me how comics just let owners of comedy clubs just shit in their soul.
Oh yeah. Oh,
for to make $25 a night. What is your problem?
Well, a couple
Why?
times I've had ideas to stand up for myself in my situation, and people are like, "No, don't do that. Like, you don't want to upset him even more. Like, what is he gonna do? Come to my house and fight me? Like, what are you? Like,
Right.
Like, he hasn't done anything for me in 17. Like, what's gonna happen?
I'm gonna lose one spot a month.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Like, what do you like? He's being outright disrespectful to me. Like, what do you want? Like, you just gotta take it. Well, yeah, because he has this position.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid to me.
Look, I'm all for it. Like, look, I'll be very respectful and kind to a comedy club owner or a comedy club booker. But if you fucking keep disrespecting me, I'm eventually gonna call you out on that shit. I'm not just gonna be like, well, you know, you sometimes let me go on stage for free at 2 a.m. So you know what I'm saying? Like, something you eventually have to be a man and be like, you can't disrespect me.
Right. Yeah,
You don't have to
absolutely
pay me or
can't.
pass me, but you can't disrespect me.
No, if you're going to be disrespectful, that's the biggest thing that gets me is like comics will sit there and just let somebody disrespect the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
To literally get nothing out of it.
Nothing out of it.
Absolutely not. You know, I don't get, and this is a thing, honestly, I saw mostly when I moved to New York. I didn't see it in smaller scenes.
No.
But just because New York is New York, it's just because of what it is.
It probably happens in LA too, but I don't know.
Oh,
I just
it
feel
does.
like LA is a chiller atmosphere.
It absolutely happens in LA. I saw that when I went there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even anything that's a remotely smaller scene, you know, it doesn't happen there. Like if a comedy club owner is a dick, the comics stand up and be like, "Yo, you can't treat us like shit like that.
Yeah.
We don't have to perform here.
There's
like
6
fuck
of
off."
us.
You know, like yeah.
But in New York, like literally a comedy club owner could be like, could like literally murder the families of like 50 comedians. There'll be 100 more comedians that want to play there.
Right.
Be like, I get it, dude. You were upset with them. You murdered their parents. Things happen. Can I get a check spot? Thanks.
Right.
Stage time.
Got to be on stage 8 times a week. If not, you're not a comic.
If you're not on stage every fucking night, not living a real life, you're not a comic. Well, you know what? I say if you didn't see Black Cauldron, you're not a comic.
It's
What do you
true.
think about that?
It stars a comic. You fucking no
John
talent
Byrne,
ass clowns.
And he killed himself. He jumped off like the guy jumped off the top of the Comedy Store in the 70s.
Can we talk about how fucking emo that scene was, though?
Oh, yeah, I
he just
have no
got
friends.
super mopey.
Yeah.
And then he just go, Gurgi has no friends.
And then he killed himself.
He just
How did they
plunged.
allow that? How did they fucking... Yeah, that's cool. I mean, like, 20 years before this, they had Bippity Bop... No, 30 years. They had Bippity Boppity Boo, and this fucking guy's killing himself.
Right. In such dramatic fashion, too.
Yeah.
That's the thing about this movie that I am noticing. It's like, it's very dark. It's very emo. It's just... You know, even the Horn King just hangs out in his fucking bedroom in dark corners and just like... You know, mumbles out shit when people walk into the room. He's like, "Bring me the pig."
I've got an insane question. What if for you? What if this movie was a success? What if this movie was like the #1 grossing film of 1985? What do you think would have happened with Disney after that? I think they would have stayed dark.
I think they would have too. I think they would have at least like turned a lot of the story arcs and a lot of the animation to a little bit of a darker tone.
I don't think they would have went back to the musical because they would have been like, well, the action adventure dark shit works.
Right,
So
that's
we're
the
gonna
other thing.
keep going. I think we would have saw Dracula or something crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that interesting to note about this movie. There's no musical aspect to it whatsoever.
No, and like you kept saying, how come the guy's harp keeps breaking the string? And I think it was to say to the audience, this ain't a musical, motherfucker.
Right.
We're going for broke.
Right.
It's kid time is over. And the audience like, no, we like kid time. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, the whole every audience member was like, "No, this is not. This
No,
is shit.
bring back
What
the
are you
fucking
doing?"
crab.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a candle that's gonna sing? Be my guest, because I ain't into this shit.
From Disney Home Video, a missing toy maker.
We're going to find my father.
A master detective.
Basil of Baker Street, my good fellow.
On the case of a lifetime.
To Buckingham Palace.
Disney's The Great Mouse Detective is now on video.
Elementary, my dear Dawson.
Plus, as you and your family watch the movie, you can solve the mystery game inside the video and enter to win great prizes.
How very generous.
Bring home the mystery and adventure of Disney's The Great Mouse Detective. Rated G. On sale today.
Choose to be like sentient and who is
Yeah,
not.
why does Pluto not talk? But like Goofy's a dog. Goofy talks.
Someone told me Goofy was a cow.
Goofy's not a cow.
He is a dog, right?
Yeah, I think he's either a dog or he's just a goofy.
He's just a goof.
Yeah, like it's just an original.
Yeah, I don't know. Disney made some weird decisions on who can talk and who cannot.
So this fucking little mouse who's a surgeon in the war, I don't know what war, in Afghanistan. So
No,
apparently,
he's in the war in Afghanistan. Yes.
So apparently the mice had a war in Afghanistan.
You know that horrible war in Afghanistan that they were trying to get oil. They shouldn't have went to war in the first place.
Yeah, I know. And this is the 1800s too, and they're having this war in Afghanistan.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's back. He's just kind of walking around.
He just gets back into town like straight off of the train. What did he? I don't know how he traveled. Did he travel by
the train.
Was it train or did he travel by like an animal?
I think he made that up. I think he was just looking for a kid to fuck.
Oh, was that?
Yeah.
He was a pedophile mouse.
He literally just finds his kid. Just goes.
What's
off
that? What's that noise over there? Oh, I recognize that noise. It's a child crying. Swing.
Yo, yes, that's what he did do, and he brings her because she goes, I don't know where Basil is, but I know Baker Street. He just takes her off. She just goes off with him.
Yeah, she's like, I know. We got to go find this
Basil.
mouse. Word is out about this mouse. Everybody knows he has really good PR back then.
Yeah. By the way, if everybody knows where he lives, why doesn't Radigan just go to his house and shoot it up?
Totally legitimate question. Yeah. If this dumb little girl and this guy who just got off the wherever from Afghanistan can find him within the first 30 seconds of the movie, I don't know what Radigan and Radigan has like a posse,
an army.
He has he has a bunch of mice. He's a lizard. He has the cat.
Yeah, why do they just have the cat just burst into the house and kill him?
I know, right? You ring the bell and the cat just eats you. He could have just went and rang the bell right in front of.
Or why don't they just call Sherlock Holmes, who he lives with, and be like, "Hey, you have a rat problem." Sherlock would find the mice.
By the way, that's another thing I really love about this movie. They live in Sherlock House's home. They live on the bottom. But Sherlock Holmes might be a great detective, but not good enough detective to realize that he has a rodent problem in his basement.
Yeah, because he has a maid who we only see the first half of the movie. She vanishes.
The Great Mouse Detective has a maid.
Yes.
Yeah, she's just there to tidy up on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So they shows up, mentions the mouse, mentions the bat, and then everybody goes, "Well, the bat, I know the bat." And
well, first he proves how great of a detective he is because he knows that the other mouse just got back from Afghanistan.
Yes, you could tell by smelling his farts or something.
No, by smelling the niche. He knows he's a doctor, and I guess he broke his jacket, and he can smell by the way that he sewed it up, where it came from and what it was. So this doctor is in. They're in. They're going to find Radigan.
They're going to find Radigan. Then they cut to Radigan singing his song.
Yeah, and Radigan does not want to be called a rat.
Yes, and
he is a self-hating rat.
He gets drunk, and he calls him a rat, and they feed him to the cat.
And
the mouse dies.
And I love it how the cat is cool with Radigan. He's cool with everybody, unless he hears the bell. What kind of like Pavlov's dog cat is this, where he has to hear the bell before he could eat somebody?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy. So that mouse gets eaten. Basil and the kid and what's his name? Fucking the old man. Dawson. Watson Dawson. They go to this toy store.
They go to a toy store
where the only detective work the Basil does is, someone took the clothes off these wooden soldiers.
Right. The bat. The dad, the toy maker, he's not really helping, so they send the bat out. They're like, Bat, you got to go get a bunch of shit. One of the things you got to get is the kid. Then you got to get tools. Then you got to get outfits, costumes for the grand plan for the what they're going to do in this whole movie, the scheme, Radigan's plot to take over all of Mousington.
Mm-hmm. And the bat immediately captures the little girl.
After a little bit of hijinks.
Okay, a little bit. Not enough, though. For him,
they chase the bat around, and then right before the bat escapes, it gets the girl.
Okay. By the way, the only one who really did any of the work was the dog who was able to trace the bat's smell.
Yeah, the bat leaves a hat behind or something.
Yeah.
And then they have a dog friend. The Great Mouse Detective has a dog friend. And he tracks down the bat.
Yeah. So Basil actually does nothing. It's all the dog.
He's still the great detective because he trained the dog.
So then they go back. He does more detective work. He burns the paper.
Oh yeah, the bat leaves the list behind.
Mhm.
So they like burn the list so he could figure out like where they are, where it came from. I don't know. It leads them to this
bar.
This bar,
Which you thought was a gay bar.
Well, the way they walk in, the way they're dressed, and they're looking. One has like the freaking mustache, like he's fucking lead singer from Queen, and the other guy's wearing like a crop top, red and white shirt. Looks like he has a little handkerchief hanging out of his pocket. It totally could be some gay mouse bar.
Yeah.
They go there in disguise. They're in disguise right now.
Mm-hmm. And a girl mice comes out to sing a burlesque song, and all the other mice try to rape her.
Yeah, first there's some octopus doing some bullshit. He's like trying to juggle. They hate them. Rowdy bunch.
Yeah.
Rowdy bunch in this bar.
They should have a host to tell them to be quiet.
No respect for the arts.
No.
No respect for the arts. They do not care about the arts at all. And then they try to drug them. They try to drug Dawson and the Great Mouse Detective.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course, the Great Mouse Detective, he's too smart for it. But he doesn't figure it out before Dawson drinks it. Dawson gets on stage. He's dancing with the burlesque dancers.
Yeah, what kind of drug was that? It looks like a kind of a really great drug. I mean,
They got roofied.
Okay, but like you didn't pass out or.
Yeah, but you don't always pass out when you get roofied. You just can't remember what happened.
Okay. Do you think the bartender was
God,
trying to
haven't you ever done roofies before? No, I'm just joking.
You think the bartender was trying to rape them?
Maybe it
That
was.
the
We
whole
did think it was a gay bar.
Because why would the bartender try to drug them if the plan from Radigan was to trap them at the headquarters?
Maybe they wanted to get them drugged up.
Yeah, they could drug them first.
First, I don't know, but anyways, then they follow the bat.
They follow the bat and they're like, aha! I found the secret his headquarters, and there's a giant R on the door.
Yeah, that was the best part. Radigan's secret headquarters has a giant R on the door. That's how secret it is.
And then Radigan jumps out and laughs at him for being a fucking idiot.
Yeah, because it's not really the little girl. It is the bat in disguise. And they've captured now
Basil and
the not so great mouse detective and his unwitting sidekick, who, by the way, is just on board for this whole adventure.
Yeah.
He just got back from Afghanistan. I would think he'd have some family he'd want to see. Maybe he's tired. Maybe he wants to rest. Maybe he wants to go visit the mouse whorehouse or something because he's been in Afghanistan for so long. But no, this mouse is just like, yeah, whatever. I'm on board with you, Detective Mouse.
It's like I flew in from like Los Angeles and Mexico last November, and as soon as I get back to this house, I just wanted to pass out. I wasn't like, let's go find Radigan. I mean,
let's go and try to solve a mystery.
Like if somebody offered me a gig that night, I would have been like, no, I'm tired.
Well, you just don't have the same work
I guess I don't have the desire
as Dawson had.
Okay.
So then they get captured.
Or as Mike Racine. Okay. Yeah, then they get captured. They do get captured. And Vincent Price gives this big long speech.
As all villains always do.
Then takes off, tells him exactly what he's going to do, takes off. I did think it was funny. He had an anvil falling on him, or arrows shooting at him, and
there's a gun shooting at him, and they were in a mousetrap.
Yeah. So
because he wants to make sure that they die.
And then he records a song. He has a song on the record that like mocks him. Vincent Price.
And when it's just and what happens is when the song, there's like a little wire on the song on the tread of this record player, and when it gets further away, it's going to release a ball that's going to release this, it's going to do that, that's going to cause the mousetrap, that's going to cause the gun, that's going to cause the axe to fall and the arrow to shoot and all that. And they're very worried about dying. They're about to be killed, especially Dawson, because he's a little pussy, even though he just got back from fighting in Afghanistan.
For a guy who like fought in a war in Afghanistan.
You think he'd have a little more balls, but he's really afraid that they're going to die. And the Great Mouse Detective's just distraught that he was like such an idiot and he let Radigan catch him so easily.
Yeah, it was kind of stupid. It was kind of ridiculous.
But
Basil finally does detective work.
He does a little detective work, and he figures out that if they move, if they do something and they move it and that it'll free them and let them go. And I don't know. It doesn't
he
really
just made it up.
Make a lot of sense, but it was an excellent plot device to get them free.
Yeah. So now they have this really shitty robot to replace the queen.
Yeah, that's why we find out that's why they had the toy maker kidnapped. and they wanted to get all these costumes and tools is because they wanted him to make a fake queen, so the queen would be like, oh, and I'm giving everything to Ratigan. Ratigan's in charge now.
And Ratigan decides to like.
And they go to Buckingham Palace. Again, Buckingham Palace has no idea that there's an infestation going on.
It's really bad.
Yeah, they have like a lot of mice.
Let me tell you, some Princess Di would have been cool with that shit.
No, she would not have.
That's why they killed
that
him.
at
I think
all.
the mice did it.
Ouch.
She's probably like, listen, we need to get an exterminator in here. And like,
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
It was the mice in that tunnel?
It was the mouse of Buckingham Palace. It was. So then they take over the robot. The robot explodes and tells Ratigan.
Right. So then Basil comes. They find the robot. They figure out what's going on. They say like, no, the Ratigan's he's a jerk.
Yeah, and then boom, and then that's it, and they all die. Well, no, they don't die. There's a chase. He grabs a little kid. I'm gonna kill this little kid.
The bat grabs the kid. They go. They escape. They have some weird hot air balloon that they made or something. I don't know. I love it how they could construct a hot air balloon, but they can't make the robots by themselves.
Yeah. It was really weird.
So they fly away like the top of Big Ben. And they go inside Big Ben.
Yes. They go inside Big Ben with the clock tower, which was like one of the first yearly uses of CGI.
Okay, right. That's what you're telling me. And the Gray Mouse Detective, they figure out how to use an English flag and some balloons to follow to give chase.
It's all very steampunk.
They give chase. They have a little fight inside of this clock tower.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Basil falls. Not Basil. They both fall to their death, but Basil.
They both fall, but Basil's able to grab onto part of the hot air balloon, and he's able to stay alive because it has some sort of like bicycle type rudder that the harder you bike, the more you can fly.
Mm-hmm.
And they go and they all get home. They all live happily ever after. I mean, the kid and the dad are like, they're like, we got to get out of here. We're going away. By the way, no payment offered. They don't give him any money. They're not like, thanks for saving my life here, or let me build you a detective robot or something or anything. Nothing.
Maybe the little girl gave him both a hand job or back.
Oh man, I hope not. That would've been... Maybe that's why they didn't put it out on video.
Yeah, and he just goes like something. We got to catch our train. They never mentioned train before.
Yeah,
All
where are
of a
they
sudden, this guy's
going?
like-
I thought they lived there.
And also, the mice. There's a mouse train.
There's a mouse train.
Okay, he's got to catch.
Or is
it.
the mice on the regular train? There's just like a mouse section. Like,
I guess it must be a mouse section.
Like that is for the people that are very poor. They have to sit in the mouse section. I mean, there's first class, second class, mouse class.
I like that there's rich mice and poor mice. Like, why couldn't a poor mouse just kind of barrow his way into Sherlock Holmes' house and live there too? Like, do you notice there were like poor mice in the Buckingham Palace sequence?
You're right. They did look poor, but I don't know. They didn't live in like Sherlock Holmes' house.
So, at the end of the movie, Basil asks the doctor to stay with him.
Yeah, I love it how like the Great Mouse Detective, he's like doing all this work by himself for so long. He's such a great detective. But then he's like, no, man, this one adventure with you, I can't do it alone. I think it was their experience at the gay bar. No,
Yes.
but he's like, he wants Dawson to stay. And Dawson's like, dude, I just got back from Afghanistan. Like, just leave me alone. I just want to go home. And then some dame knocks on the door and she's like, I need your help, Mouse Detective. And fucking manipulative Basil, what's his name? Basil, whatever the fuck his name
Basil,
is.
yeah.
Basil, he is like, oh, yes, we will help you. We do all our jobs together. And Dawson's like, oh, great. Now you've got me into another job that I don't want to be involved in.
Hold on, hey, I finally got spots at Governors. Woohoo!
Congratulations, Ray.
Just had to get. I don't want to say it out loud. Sorry, I just had to write confirmed.
It's okay.
But here's the funny thing you brought up. We're watching. How come all the girl mice have a beauty mark?
Yeah, all the girl mice in the movie had a beauty mark.
Yeah.
Except for the one singing mice, I noticed.
Yeah, but she had like her panties shown.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
So every other one had a little beauty mark. I don't know why. Maybe they thought that'd make him more feminine.
I think somebody had a bad breakup.
Okay.
And they were determined to. That was their fetish.
And they're like, my ex-girlfriend had a beauty mark. All those mice are gonna have beauty marks too.
All those hot mice.
Ooh, those sexy, sexy little mice.
They all have beauty. I'm gonna get a beauty mark.
Oh,
so
baby.
Yeah. So all the mice. Yeah, the mice had beauty marks.
They set it up like there's gonna be a Great Mouse Detective too. You said there isn't. Are you sure there isn't one
they
on
gave
like
a lot of things to
on like
they don't
a
even
Disney TV Mouse
No.
Detective 2 or something?
No, this got swept. Even though this made money, because the last movie, Black Cauldron, and I want you to tell that story about that. This made money. It grossed $50 million against a budget of $14 million.
Wow.
You would think Disney would be very
That's
happy
good.
with that. They said, they go with some moderate success. Jesus, God, they really want.
God, how big of a success do you need, Disney, you greedy bastards? You already own everything.
I know. Well, not back then.
Not back then.
Not back.
Not back then. They only owed a quarter of the stuff.
Yeah, they didn't. They only owned a little bit. But I think that's a good. I would be very happy with that. If I invested $14 million in something, got $50 million.
That's fantastic.
But here's the thing: why would you not put it on VHS?
I don't understand that either. I'm not sure.
Because you put out Little Mermaid. If they didn't put out Little Mermaid on VHS,
come on, Little Mermaid.
You think anybody would be talking about that shit nowadays?
Probably. It's really a good movie.
I know it is a really good movie. People would be pissed
The
that wasn't on
songs are
VHS. Man, what the
amazing.
fuck is going on?
No one's doing a live action Great Mouse Detective.
Well, we could.
Me and you.
Want to pitch that to Roy tonight?
Sure.
I don't care. Whatever.
I doubt he would want to.
Cisco could play Radigan.
Promote it. Okay. Who are you gonna play?
I'll play the bat. I don't know.
All right. Who am I playing?
You play Basil.
Oh, that's so sweet of you to say. Right.
We'll get Greg Barris to play. What is he doing? Is he in LA? Where did he go?
Who are we talking about?
Greg Barris.
I think he's bi-coastal.
Oh, so he's by a lot of things.
I don't know.
I'm fucking with you. Do you even talk to him or no?
I haven't spoken to him in a couple years.
I feel like you guys are supposed to be a comedy duo.
No, we were never a comedy duo.
Yeah.
We were friends for a little while.
For just a little while. See, I have you like as his best friend.
Just for a couple years, we were friends.
It's funny. Joe DeRose and Big J used to hang out around. They hung out around a lot when I first started at Caroline's.
Okay.
And I had them associate like they're Laurel and Hardy, but they haven't done things together in like years. But in my head, they're like Laurel and Hardy.
Okay. No, people grow apart.
Well, I don't let go of the
grow
past.
Up. You gotta let go, Ray.
No, I want
you gotta
Joe DeRose
look
and Big
forward
J.
into the future.
I'll tell you this: if Joe DeRose and Big J did a Disney podcast, they'd be fucking selling out Madison Square Garden.
I think they're doing pretty good with the bonfire and whatever else they're doing these days.
Okay, no, they're doing good. They're very funny guys, but in my head, they're like Batman and Superman.
Oh wow, that's very nice of you to say. Calling them Batman and Superman.
Well, yeah, that's Zack Snyder version. I'm joking. So anyway, yeah, I mean, this is just weird. There should have been a part 2. I almost feel like they could have done this on the Disney Afternoon.
They set up for part 2. This would be a good Disney Afternoon, or maybe like one episode of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. They team up with the Great Mouse Detective.
They go back in time.
Perfect. Oh, that's right, because it happened so long ago.
But you could do an episode. What DuckTales? You go back.
They
in time.
travel in a time machine. You're right. They could have done that.
I don't understand what is this. Here's the other thing too about Disney Plus. If they don't want you to find a movie, you cannot fucking find it. I had to search. I had to go all the way to Great Mouse D for this to show up on the thing.
Really?
Everything else showed up. I mean, I think it had like Iron Man, Avengers, and you sure you didn't mean Little Mermaid or Frozen?
A lot of people don't care about the Great Mouse Detective.
I know, but like you should highlight a little bit.
Why did you invite me to do the shittiest one?
Not the shittiest one. Dude, you're lucky I didn't invite you to do the 40s musical movies, which were...
Oh, God.
You ever seen Make Mine Music?
No.
Oh, dude, that was Alan Finn's movie. I invite you because, you're kind of like a detective.
Thank you, I guess. Am I a detective? I'm still trying to figure out why I don't have a better career.
There you go. You're on the case.
I definitely am on that case.